What's up, guys? It's your boy Fix It Daniel, and today we are going to be back on the scooter. We're going to try and get everything all set up and rewired up so that way we can start working and tackling on this motor. So let us get into it and show you guys what we're going to be doing. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for liking and subscribing. But today we are going to be back on the scooter. We're going to try and get this done for my friend Van Z. He does woodworking. He has an Instagram page as well. He's not a YouTube guy, but he does really good woodworking in the local area. But today we're going to finishing up this scooter for him. Try to get this going. We have taken a little bit of a break. But we're back on it, trying to get this thing really going up pretty good. So let me show you what we got so far. So as you see, we've already stripped apart the donor bike. This was the one that had everything plug and play. If you guys have not watched it, this is the one that had everything plug and play, all the wirings and all the handlebars and everything. Already taken that off, and it's already on here. So as you see, we already got it in. Just got to finish getting a handlebar in there. We got one in right now, and we got the wiring already there. We just got to rewire it all back up, get it through the holes and all that jazz. So this is where we're at so far. So we really are getting pretty close. I've been doing a little bit off and on camera. One of the reasons is not too many people have been very interested in this, and I feel like I'm wasting the YouTube's time by doing this. I've got a lot of views, but not a lot of likes. So, I don't know. I'm torn between continuing doing this off camera and get it done, or show it to you guys. There's not too many interests of this, so I'm just really hoping that people are liking it. A little bit more. Not as great as the scooter. The scooter was everybody was on that, and I really appreciate it. We will be getting back on this. I have so much stuff, backlogs of things I need to be doing. I want to do a review on this. I haven't done a review of this in a while. I know it's getting winter time, but I want to try and do a review before it gets too cold. It's kind of already getting cold now anyway. But I want to do a review on this. It's not that much. Everything is pretty much good to go. It runs and drives amazing. I did an amazing job on it, and I really do appreciate all of y'all likes and views on that. And I need to get out on the car. I do have a surprise for that one coming up soon, so stay tuned for those, and please be patient. But back onto this, we definitely just got to get this going and get this going straight. I feel like what I'll probably be doing is I'll be doing more off camera and then kind of report my progress. I feel like that way would be a little better, because then I can kind of move a little faster without video once it gets to a really good point where you can see what I'm doing, and I can just explain to you what I've been doing. So we'll see how that goes. So let's get on the scooter and get this kind of finished up. Okay guys, so we're going to be getting these handlebars on. I got one on. These are the original. These are the one from the donor. I taken the ones off of the old one. The problem I had is that somewhere inside here, it's actually, this was actually too long. There's like a little metal cup here before it falls down into here that was blocking the way to get to the actual hole. The hole actually is under here for the actual original. So it would have been kind of crazy, because then the handlebars would be turned up. Now it's just the way that it was on there. But since this is kind of really not that bad metal, it's easy to just drill a hole. But I wanted to make sure that the hole I was drilling did also need to be tapped. But there's a tap on this bar. So all I do is just tilt it the right way I wanted it, make a punch, drill the hole, take this off, drill a hole, and then just stick it through, and it worked. Because this is the old pipe that was off of the original one, and it fit perfectly, because I think this was like this is where the stopping was when it came to the actual hole. The hole was actually here on the bottom, so right where this crease is, that's where it actually stopped here. So it went all the way in, which was weird, but it went all the way in and then turned down there. I don't know what was the problem, but I took it off, and I figured a better way was basically the hole for this screw is on this bar. So this is nothing. This is just the hole for it to go through to get to it. So I figured out where I wanted to adjust it, and then I just drilled a hole, and then just boom, we were good. And we could always make different hole mounts if it doesn't seem to fit for him. But I wanted to just get this on here. So once I figured that out, then I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna have to do this on this side. So now we gotta do the same modification on this side, because as you see, this hole here, it goes right in. So see how short they are. But the hole for the actual mounting piece is down here. So if I turn it, it's gonna be like, so if I stick this in here and get it to the hole, it's gonna be like that. And then you can't get to everything. So we want to turn it to keep it where it would be like normal. So what we're gonna have to do is just, it's really quite simple. You just kind of eyeball it, get it in there where you want it. This one actually goes all the way in, so that's kind of okay. So, you know, it's got a good gapping in between. So we're trying to get it as close, and then we'll mark the hole. But since this one's got an actual depth, I'm thinking I'm just doing this. If I can find my. So what I'm gonna do is, this one's gonna be a little different from the other one. Because the other one I had eyeball because it's got stopped. You see this? There's an extra gapping in there where this one, the other one kind of goes flush because it's shorter. Because of this piece, it makes it a little longer. So this one was a little more easier just to eyeball it and make a punch, and then boom, there's the hole. But since this one's a little bit inward, we're gonna try and measure it and see where the actual hole is. And it looks like, all right, we're at like a half. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is this. Got our marker. Put this towards the edge. Got our mark. You guys can't see it, but I can see it. So, let me try here. I'm using punch. Good marking. All right. So now we got a nice, good mark. I know you guys can't see it, so we'll get a little close. So now we got a mark, got a nice good punch mark. So now, then we got our punch mark. We're gonna go ahead and make a hole. So I'm gonna grab our drill bit. Yep. All right, guys, we got our drill bit. This is just a drill bit to make a hole. I think this is like a 1-inch bit. Nothing crazy. Just trying to use it to make a hole. So I'm gonna get the hole started. All right, we got our hole. lucky we are. Let's see if I got it right. So we're going to take our bar. We'll cut this piece off. Actually, we'll finish this in here. I don't know what the stringy piece was for, but we're going to go cut it because it's really annoying. Alright, so now we're going to put this piece on. Hopefully I got my measurements right. So stick this in the hole. Oh yeah, perfect. First time. Boom. How awesome is that? So now we got the bars nice and on there, and that's actually not bad. It took me a couple of times with this one. I actually was a little off, so I had to use my unibit to make the hole, but this one I measured it a bunch of times and got it right. Did it once and boom. Now it's the bars on there, so that's a good win. So now we will have to go ahead and start working on getting all these wires ran where they need to go. Okay guys, so now we're on to the next step. So now we got our handlebars bolted on, nice and mounted. And now we just finally ran our wires. We got them all nice and running through here, coming through. We even hooked up the actually this goes under. We hooked up even our throttle cable. So that's all nice and hooked up and in. And then we even got our brake line routed under. It's not tucked in yet, but it's laying right there, as you see. Right here. Here's our brake line. Goes to this, and we can get that mounted, and we should be good. But we probably have to get it off because we have to see if we can put some air in these tires, get this chain off and all that stuff like that. So figure out how that works. And then, so now we got everything. Everything's all routed. And then we gotta do is just plug everything in. And we're gonna replace this with the one over there. And then this can come out. And then we should be good. Got that all routed and should be good. So let us go ahead and continue getting all our pieces off of here onto here, so then we should be good. Alright, so we're going to get this mounting piece off the motor. I guess this is for the timing. But we want to keep everything kind of consistent, so same old stuff. Take this with us. Do the same. same thing over here. Let's take these out. Replace it with this other one here. Oh, okay. Hold up. So guys, that's it for right now. We're gonna go ahead and stop, take a little break, get some grouping together. Maybe have to trace out these wires for this transformer to make sure which one's the right power. I think it should be too hard. Should be able to figure it out, and then we'll go from there. So I think we're moving quite along. Everything's going pretty good. Or what we could do is we could just take the motor off and just swap it right over, and then we won't have to worry about it. But I think this motor here is a lot more powerful than that one. I think we can still use the chain transmission if you needed to. So there's that push and pull. We could easily just take the motor off and swap it, and then we'd be done. But I'd like to see if this one's good, because if this one isn't good, then we'll swap it back with that one. Hopefully that one's better, and then we'll be rolling. So that's pretty much it, guys. I know this is kind of a slow pace, and trying to move quite along to get this project done. So we're getting close. Just gotta get everything all wired the way they're supposed to. Then hopefully we can get the motor, everything all timed up for the wired up for the motor, and then we can go ahead and try to put some gas in and get it started and see if it actually starts. Because then if we can get it started, then that's a good sign that we're going in the right direction. So we'll wait for that. But guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys truly have a good, blessed day, and I thank you guys so much for watching. And please continue, go down, like and subscribe, and definitely follow me on Instagram if you guys want to see some more cool stuff. Well, that all being said, you guys have a good and blessed day, and I'll see you on the next fix. Until then, peace. Wait, there's more. Guys, so it is the next day. I was about to end the video and doing some stuff off camera, which if I come to find out, doing off camera seems to be working a little bit more better in my favor, because I seem to find a whole lot more stuff than I do when I'm doing the video. So we are not done. I was just about to stop and we'll do it another time, but we're not done. I ran across something that I just need to get on camera and kind of show what more else that needs to be done, which is not bad. It's not bad. Actually glad that we have two bikes, because we could still, and we're still taking parts from the donor bike. Man, there's something else that we need to take from the donor bike. Let me show you what it is. Now we already got this all set, and all the plugs and the wiring are wired up the way they're supposed to. But I noticed something different. So this bike's motor is seized in some kind of way. It does turn, but it doesn't turn freely like this one does. So the reason why I noticed this, because the pull start on this motor over here which is right there, it's broke. So we were going to take this little pull start, electric start off and use this one, which probably would have worked. But the problem is this motor is seized. Well, I don't know if it's seized, but there is some definite stuck rotation. So the motor, when you turn it, you can turn it, but you have to turn it with the crank. So you shouldn't have to with this. Obviously you got to take the spark plug out, because if you don't, you're creating compression, and then you won't be able to turn it, because this is what fires it to push it up and down and all that jazz. But when it's not turning and you want to make sure you got good for movement in the motor, you got to take the spark plug out, take this crank off, and there's a nut inside, and you can crank the motor to make sure that's free turning. Well, this one doesn't do that. This one kind of turns and it gets stuck somewhere, and then you have to turn it with the wrench. And when I put this pull start on, I should be able to pull this motor, and as you see, I cannot pull it. So it is stuck in some part, which is good portion that something is stuck in the motor. It could be a bent rod. It could be something. Something's in there that's not allowing it to do its full rotation. But this one does, because when I turn it, you see how the motor moves? And that's even with this end causing compression. I can still freely turn it with my hand. So that's giving me that this motor is free and it spins, and it had oil on the plug, where this one does not spin and it didn't have any oil splashing on the plug. Now that might be something different, I don't know, just because these are oil gas mixture motors, so that's probably okay. But now we're going to have to take this motor off, take that motor off, and put it on this chassis. They're all the same motors. It's exactly identically the same. I would say that this one is a little bit older and that one is a little bit newer. So we're going to basically take this half of the motor off. We want to keep this because this chain and sprocket is bigger than that chain and sprocket. Now, we don't know if that gives you more speed, which normally that's usually how that works. Bigger sprocket will give you, I think it's the bigger sprocket, the faster the speed, or the higher the speed, or the smaller sprocket, bigger the sprocket. It's one of those vice versa, where you go small, the smaller you go, the faster the speed, but then the top end is kind of slow, where vice versa, if you switch it, the smaller the pulley, the slower the takeoff, but the higher the top end. I can't exactly remember which way that one goes. I know on the scooter, the scooter is the bigger the sprocket, the bigger the sprocket on the back end, it is basically I'll get more top speed. I may not get a lot of top speed I may not get a lot of acceleration when I start, but then when I get to the top end, it'll be a lot more, which is what I wanted. And I think this is how this one works. Not quite for sure. It's a scooter. This is a small motor scooter, so it's probably going to go about 25 miles an hour, maybe 30, if that, depending on the person who's sitting on it. So we are definitely going to be taking this off, and we're going to be exchanging that. So I will end you with that, and then we will definitely be going with that route. So we will definitely reconvene. We're going to have to figure out how to get all this off, which is not hard. It's not really hard to get this motor off, but we do got to separate this transmission from the motor to take that motor off in transmission and put it on this one. So that'll be a work in progress, a little bit extra stuff that we're going to have to do, which is not a problem. We got plenty of time. We're going to take this wheel off anyway, because we needed to make sure we can hold air. If not, we need to swap tires, all that jazz, all that stuff will be fine. So we'll stop on the wiring, focus on the motor, because we got the wiring pretty much in where it needs to go. Maybe we'll go ahead and clean this up and bolt this together to get the light on and get this whole top part off. And then we'll stop right here. We still have to do some more wiring and splicing, and then we'll take this motor off, take that motor off, get this motor on, and get the back end all squared away. So then that way we can meet in the middle. So we're coming in, we finished one half. Now we got to do the other half, and then we'll meet it in the middle once this motor is all on, the new motor is on and everything. So that'll be where we will get to, and that's where we'll conclude. So that's where we're at. That's where we're going to stop at. I'll have to redo my game. I'll have to refigure everything out, which is not hard. Just need to get down into it and figure out how to get everything off. Like I said, I gotta get the back wheel off. I have to get that off anyway, so I can put some air in the tire and make sure it's good. Because if not, the inner tube needs to be changed. Because I tried filling this one up and it definitely didn't hold. There's another tire on there that if that holds, then that'll be great. Because the front one is still holding air, which is a good. That's good. That means that it's working really well. So, but I want to change it to the other tire here that's a little more flat. So we still have a lot of ways to go and get this going, but I do want to finish the motor so we can meet it in the middle with the wiring. So once we get that going, we could do the tires while it's off. While we're in there, we can do the tires, get that going, and get that all straight, and then we can hopefully get this thing turned over. It's really close. As long as one other thing I do need to remember, that pull cable, I do need to order another one because this one is completely seized, and I just need to so that is one thing I need to do. I need to start ordering some parts. This is probably the only part I need to order. The rest of the stuff I have, and we're just trying to miscellaneous, but that part's not as expensive. It's like a $9 part for the rip cord. The reason why we want to use that one is because this one's more modern. It will work with the plug and play of the harness that we already have. I had already cut the wiring for it, but I can resplice it and reuse it, so that way we'll keep everything kind of the same. So it's basically almost like taking the wiring and the motor and putting it on this. So it'll be an actual complete replacement of everything. We're even taking the motor out. The only thing would probably be original would be the transmission, if hopefully the transmission's good. But we got another transmission if that ever comes down. So this is actually working out, because if the transmission on this is bad, we have another transmission on this bike. All we gotta do is change the sprockets. Now that can also be another way of doing it too. We could just take the whole motor and transmission off, take those sprockets off, replace the sprockets with that one, and then we'll be fine, and we don't have to worry about anything. So I gotta really do some game plan of figuring out what would be the best course to go with this. It's not really complicated. It's just a matter of figuring which way you want to do it, how you want to do it, make sure it's easy to execute before we do it, and then we do it. So it's just gonna take a little bit of time to go over it off camera, look at everything, figure out how it is to get it off, figure out if the transmission will turn, which is hopefully that will be the way to go. And if not, then we'll just leave the motor and transmission on the older motor together, take the donor motor and transmission off completely, one whole piece, and then just put it on. And then all we got to do is just figure out how to get those sprockets off, and then we could go that route too. So that way we don't have to worry about like, oh great, now we got to change the transmission, because now the transmission is even bad too. So we'll just do a complete motor and transmission swap over, and then I think that would work perfectly. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I know this isn't something that you guys are into, but I've already started, and I don't want to stop. And for the ones who do like it, I'm thank you so much for the support. And then we're just gonna try and get this done as fast as we can. Doing a lot more off camera, and then just doing a lot more explaining of where the progress is. Because I know a lot of people are not interested in this, and I really want to get this back to him so he can have it and enjoy it. I don't want him to wait until summer to enjoy this. So this could be really done in a fast time if I can just get it all done for him. So I'm trying to move a little faster, and I'm doing most of it off camera. And then, like I said, I come back on and I'll explain to you guys what I've done so far. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I really, truly do appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram at FixItDaniel, and please follow me on YouTube as well. Give me comments. Let me know what you think of the bikes. I know this isn't something that everybody has, but I think it's a pretty cool side project to work on. It's just like working on the scooter, just that the scooter was a little more popular than these scooters. I know I keep stressing that I'm going to get back on that one to do a review, and I will. It's just trying to find the time to do it, because we have a lot of stuff going on and everything. So we will be getting on that car soon. I just posted a short on me doing the car. We're going to be doing the couplers, and we're going to be doing the bushings, the rear differential bushings. So I know a lot of people have been asking for that, and I want to deliver. I was just waiting a little bit because the weather was a little chilly. Now the weather is right, and I want to get to weather. I want to do it before the weather gets too cold, because I really don't feel like climbing on that thing when it's like below the freezing and stuff like that, and snow and stuff like that. So, but guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good and blessed day, and I see you on the next fix. Until then, peace.